Hello everyone, this time I'm playing a deck that I found on the internet. I want to keep. This is called Artifact Mill. Let's see if it works out well. Um, I found it on Reddit Pauper, and I really liked it, and the ideas it had were just great. Um, Basically, it's put on bottom, put on top. It's a mill deck that consists of a lot of artifacts like Theron Sculptor and a lot of baubles or whatever they are called. And we want to defeat our opponent by milling him. And as long as he doesn't do anything, we can just sit back and relax. And here we have the chance to land a Chase Erasure in turn 2, which can be counted by dice, but we still have to try to keep on working on his counter spells that he might have in his hand. He might land a Fairy Miscreant now. No, he doesn't. So it's okay for us to just land an Erasure. Next turn, we are going to play the Sculptor, a Seed of the Synod, and a second Sculptor. Yeah, this is possible. After the first Sculptor, we can land another one. Mm, we only have one problem here, that he might be able to counter the first Sculptor. So we have, oh, Kabira Crossroads. So we are up against, what's it called, Acid Trip. So we don't have to be afraid of counter spells, because Acid Trip usually plays no counter spells at all. But we still have to be careful. Always, yes, always yield. Since he might have a, yeah, what might have a pretty different deck from that which I suppose he has. And this is great. We can play the second Sculptor. And next turn we can just Thought Cast for about 2 cards and have affinity for artifacts. Thought Scour can help to mill the opponent, and then we can start playing. There he has the Reality Rip Acid, or whatever it's called, on the Chase Erasure, but this doesn't matter too much because it takes some time to have, or to remove that one. Oh, he chooses the Seed, which is okay, because we might be able to draw a Perilous Research and play it in response to his creature that bounces our Seed of the Synod. And I think it's very likely to actually draw a Perilous Research 1 and 2 on 1 and 2. No, there is no such thing as a Perilous Research at the moment, so we just attack for 2, pass the turn, let him get back his Reality Acid, play Thought Scour, and see what else we have at the end of or at the beginning of our next turn. So there is the Skyfisher, and we lose a Seed, which is not really a problem because we have so many lands and we are not dependent on any artifact lands here. We already lost the Thought Cast, which we don't really need. We'll see what happens. Okay, beginning of combat. So we can Thought Scour first, have the trigger on him. Then we can just brainstorm and have a stop at our upkeep. And it's a bit problematic that we have like 2 Perilous Researches now, but still they're good enough for drawing cards, and we can play the second Erasure. So let's just draw the land, because we need about 4 lands here. Play the second Chase Erasure. And now we can just play a Research at the end of his turn, because it's okay if we just have artifact spells cost 1 less to cast. Let's see what he's trying to do here. The good thing about periodic research is that we actually can sacrifice any permanent, not just an artifact. So we can get rid of his reality, of his acid. Problematic is if he has a blink, he can just do it instant speed, getting rid of the acid, or just react to our getting rid of the acid. So what's he up for? I think it's the acid, actually. He wants to apply the acid on the chase erasure. Which is okay. We just play the research, having 4 triggers. Wait a moment. Yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have another chase erasure, which is excellent. 4. Always, I forgot to say always yes, always yield. Always yes, always yield. Nope. Upkeep. I already have the second land. And there is a Shriek Horn, which I don't really like. I mean, we don't have to pay for it, just because we have the sculptures. And I think it's not too good because it's just the top 2 cards. But whatever. I might want to change Shriek Horn into something else or something different. Attacking for 2. So it's time for the erasure. And yeah, then I can just pass and wait what happens. Attacking with the Skyfisher, which is pretty obvious. Another land. And then we'll play Thought Scour. What's that? 5 mana. This is a Mile Drifter, I guess. Is it a Mile Drifter? Yep. I don't care about Mile Drifters. Just because he can't be that fast. We are faster because we have 2 erasures. We have Thought Scour, things like that. So we should be faster than him. Preordain is nice as well. Helps us speed up the clock here. Put a card on the bottom. And the other one on the bottom as well. No, it's on top. So this might be like what's it called? Reality acid. 1 and 2. So we have another land. Huh? Okay. Another Thought Scour. A lot of clicking. And I want to use that one as well. 1, 2. And now it's a lot of fun here. Playing the Wellspring, drawing a card. Oh, just forgot it's for free. 1 and 2. Playing a research for the Wellspring. Of course, having 2 more triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Yeah, Wellspring, Brainstorm, and Research should be enough. Oh my god. And there's even a Thoughtcast. Let's play Thoughtcast first. 1, 2, 3, 4. She current. Good game. So, since we don't have a sideboard yet, we have to try and win with the modification that we have here. Shuriken might be good. Not sure about that. Sculpture is okay. We need it for the wall springs and the Shuriken, and for Thoughtcast as well. Let's just try and see what we can do. You like have fun. It's a lot of fun playing that deck. Problematic is playing against strong decks, fast decks like Burn. Whatever decks win in game 3, in turn 4 or 5, we have no real chance winning against decks like that. But it's still more or less fun to play. So he's still deciding if he wants to play first or not, which is in my opinion not a decision which is hard to make. Let's just see what happens. I don't really like Acid Trip since it's in my opinion very slow and has matchups where it's really bad positioned, I think. I'm not sure if it's good against hard control decks. I think it's good or okay against, maybe against Delver, I'm not sure. But I don't really like it that much. I used to play it, and I always made the wrong decisions, like using reality asset targets that are not really good. So he might have lost connection to the game. I just pause the recording and see if we just if we can play a second game here. So as you can see, the opponent conceded, which is pretty bad because it's so much fun playing against Reality Acid. Let's have a look at the deck list. Actually, where is it? Artifact Mill. I converted mana cost. This is what the deck is actually playing. It has about 18 lands, just because we will actually only need 3 or 4 of these lines. We have 4 brainstorms. We have the preordained package, which is better than Ponder because we're not actually searching for any card. We don't want to have it as a tutor. We just want to have access to a good card. Thought Scour is nice as well because we can play it on the opponent and use it as a brainstorm outlet. The same is true for Shriekhorn, which is or has great synergy to the Ethereum sculpture because we can play it for free. We can use it. Actually, we can use it for the perilous research as well, because as soon as we have used our Shriekhorn, we can just sack it for the research. And the Chase Erasure is our one and only win condition, which is pretty bad. I think we should have at least 2 or 3 more win conditions, but that's what we have to deal with. Ethereum Sculpture is nice because it helps us play our Iker Wellspring and Shriekhorn. It's good having some kind of affinity for the Thoughtcast, and research is nice against a lot of decks which might cause us trouble. We can draw a lot of cards. Whirlpool Rider is nice because it's a blocker and lets us draw a lot of cards usually. Wellspring is nice to draw 2 cards if you have the research. And Gash is a nice addition since we can just take back our lands and replay them or have our hand full again for the Whirlpool Rider. Thoughtcast is nice because we have affinity to artifacts. If I had to choose any cards for my sideboard, there would be like creature hate cards, like what's it called? The card that makes creatures more expensive, like you have to play one for the creature or to sack your creatures. This is good against Worm aggro or aggro decks that want to be really fast. I would like to play some red elemental blasts or hydroblasts, I have to say, to counter spells from red sources and things like that. I hope you enjoyed this video of this very nice deck, and we might see you soon again in some time. See you soon later.